So just to very clearly, first of all, you need to figure out who is poor. And for our purposes, we're going to presume that the MPI identifies who is poor accurately. And then you are going to target the people from a census instrument who are as poor, as great of an overlap with the poor population as possible. It won't be perfect. So for example, if 40% of people are multidimensionally poor, then maybe you can target 30% of them by your measure. But then you'll have other groups that are either poor but not targeted on this side, or non-poor but targeted. And so clearly the 30% are the group that overlap where both measures agree who is poor at the identification stage. And then there are a group of undercoverage and a group of leakage in these very technical terms that are used in the literature. And your aim very clearly is to minimize the undercoverage and the leakage. So to try to get the identification of who is poor as close as possible. And because you're using different survey instruments, it's a different approach in terms of justifying the parameters, if that's your aim. So just to start from where we are in the literature, most targeting measures use one of a variety of different proxy means tests. And one of the useful things in that literature is that they have paid a lot of attention to the scope and the size of these undercoverage and leakage errors of inclusion and errors of exclusion. And they tend to be quite sizable. For example, Grosh and Baker find that the undercoverage and leakage rates in urban Jamaica was 43% and 26% when they needed a targeting measure. And there were others this was an urban study in Bolivia and in Peru. But there are quite high rates of undercoverage. The denominator here is of the poor people or of the population. And another study in Sri Lanka. And there are many studies of the proxy mean tests. And that is, in a sense, one of the motivations. It's at this stage, an early stage in the development of the methodologies. But the question is whether using a multidimensional measure, you would be able to improve the match. So decrease the leakage and the undercoverage.